I want to come along with you, Rupa Manjari, and bring Swamini into that kunj on the bank of Shri Radha Kund, which is decorated by Hari. So she has that desire. Raghunath Das has this desire, and Srimati Radhika will fulfill this desire through Rupa Manjari. And now comes the Leela. I was reading a little bit faster, or just to come to that Leela, because that is a long Leela and it's very, very beautiful. And it starts like that. Shyam, being eager to meet Srimati, sends a girl messenger in the form of his flute playing. And when Prema Maya Radhika hears that sound, she becomes impatient and forgets all other consideration. Isn't that beautiful how the flute of Mohan is also a girl? It's a beautiful, sweet girl song full of longing. It's a Murali Duty. The flute is also Adasi here. The sun shines on her head. She's running out now and scorches the sand on the road, spreading itself in the sky like a burning canopy as she goes to meet Krishna at noontime. Noontime meetings are very intense because of the heat and because of the eagerness. Srimati's body is as soft as butter, and her feet are as tender as a lotus flower. Hari, Hari, the course of love cannot be stopped. This amorous girl gives up all considerations, desiring to be touched by Krishna. And the most excellent playful Rai is shielded from the noose-like looks of her suspicious elders by a whirlwind that throws up a lot of dust. In this way she went, forgetting all about her home and her husband. So we can now feel the situation. Srimati Radhika is hearing the flute play of Mohan. It's in the middle of the day. She is maybe, very busy also, having to do this homework or that. But she cannot resist. She is hearing the flute, the Murali duty, the messenger of the flute. And she has to run. And it is in the middle of the day. She cannot hide. So what happens? Vrindavan Dham is making a whirlwind, like a hurricane around Srimati Radhika. She is completely covered by that dust of Vrindavan. Nobody can see her. Like this, the whirlwind is guiding her to Mohan. O passionate Rai, You have conquered over all obstacles after mastering all of Cupid's mantras. Govindadas says, may Hari now teach you the tantras of Ras. This was a song from one devotee who had also had this vision and the same service desire that Raghunath Das has. He wants to serve in that situation. When Srimati Radhika has heard the flute play and is on her way to Radhakund. And now we see it again from the perspective of the Manjaris. Rangamai Swamini floats on the waves of calm. Holding your Rupa Manjari's arm, while I, Tulasi, walk anxiously behind her, watching her stumbling gait, afraid that she will trip or fall out of eagerness to meet Krishna, and ready to hold her then. So this is the situation from the perspective of Manjaris. We are holding Swamini. I just listened to a class of Gurudev when he said, we are following who? Rupa Manjari. And holding Swamini, sometimes also holding her very thin waist. And in this time, Rupa Manjari is holding the arm. And Tulsi Manjari is watching her gait, how she's walking, if she's tripping, protecting. The Manjaris are always there protecting, always ready to support Swamini in her service. Afraid that she will trip or fall out of eagerness to meet Mohan, and ready to hold her. Is not only holding her, because on the way there's also many things that can happen, right? Baba says, when Swamini sees a blackish tamal tree on the way, she mistakes it for Krishna. And when she sees a golden vine entwining this tree, she mistakes it for a rival gopi, embracing him. So Srimati Radhika is having also all these ecstasies, madness, when she's on the way to meet him. And Manjaris have to always make sure that she will not fall out. She will not trip. She will not run to the tree, because she is protected by the whirlwind. Remember, she has to go in that quick way and go there quickly, otherwise others may see her. And she is in this madness of love. She is, completely in another world. She doesn't care anymore. But the gopis, the Manjaris, they help her. They help her that she can not be seen and that she can safely come to a special kunj this time. This time it is a kunj that was decorated by Mohan himself. Now he is waiting for her. We have many cases where Radhika is waiting for Mohan. But this time, it's Mohan in the kunj, has decorated the kunj and waiting for her. That is very interesting. And so this is the things that can happen to her. When Swamini sees a blackish tamal tree on the way, she mistakes it for Mohan. And when she sees a golden vine embracing the tree, she thinks it's a gopi embracing him. but you will help her. Then now Raghunathas, as Tulsi Manjari is speaking to Rupa Manjari, you will help her out of these illusions, while I'll help Swamini meet with Shyam in a Kunja house, which he adorns with his own bodily luster, his shining. The words Kama, Taranga, Rangam apply here to the waves of Madana Ras, the pinnacle of love of God, and not to material lust. So this is now important because it's not any kind of meeting that will take place on the bodily platform. This is two souls who are one body, Radha and Mohan, who have eternally separated themselves to play these divine games, and who are meeting again and again and become one in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Tantras say, Premaiva Goparamanam Kama Ityagamat Pratam. The pure love of the gopis is known as lust because the external activity appears to be the same. Nevertheless, there is complete absence here of desire for personal sense enjoyment. That is a deep paradoxical secret. This is always a very important thing to understand, that there is a big difference between lust and prema. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's compared to gold and iron. And we here in this material bodies, in our human kind of coverings, we have a tendency to put our own experiences on that. Although we have a longing at the same time, the soul has a longing to experience eternal love. And that longing of the soul for eternal love can only be fulfilled in the spiritual platform, in our spiritual bodies, in our spiritual seva to Radha Mohan, or let's say to Shri Guru Manjari and all other Manjaris. It is in this world also noticeable that some activities appear the same externally but have different targets. For example, two persons may be picking flowers in a garden. One of them is doing it to gratify their own nose, and other one is doing it to worship the Lord. This first person binds himself to this illusory world, while the other one awakens their dormant love of God by working within the realm of the Lord Swarup Shakti, named Bhagavat Bhakti. It is well known that the Lord is not captured by mere lust, which is not attended with pure love for him. Seeing that the Lord is controlled to the utmost by the Gopika's lust, it can be easily understood that that lust is the pinnacle of deep love. So again, this whole paragraph, it's like almost half a page, is there to understand the difference between the material sense perception of somebody who is in the bodily conscious of life and someone who is serving Radha Rani, serving Radha Mohan with the intensity of something that seems to be also lust. But this conjugal love is called kam or lust because it resembles lust, But the mundane Cupid is different from this, for many differences can be seen between the two. Therefore, although the activities of lust and love appear to be the same, the desire to please oneself has been called lust, and the desire to please Sri Krishna has been called pure love. From this, it is easily understood that the lust of the gopis, who are free from desires for personal sense pleasures, is the pinnacle of pure love. So this is also our duty as disciples of our spiritual master, to check myself as much as possible on my desires and in which direction they are flowing. That will come gradually. It is not coming from one day to the next. And why is Baba explaining it again and again? Because this Vilapa Kushmanjali is made from pure love. And to attain into that energy, let's say it like that, the energy of service in pure love, we need, first of all, mercy from a pure Vaishnava who is already in that level, of Lord Chaitanya, who has come to give it freely, as was explained before. And then third, a very strong desire and faith that it really is possible, that I want to attain it no matter what, that I will stick to it my whole life as best as I can. And of course, I'm a fallible human being, but I will try it. And now we come to the Leela. Baba is always giving some sections of, don't forget, no, what is the difference between love and lust, and then go deeply. Now come and dive with me. Swamini goes on Abhisar, means the meeting, the rush to meet Mohan. She goes on her love journey, holding Sri Rupa Manjari's hand. Waves of lust or divine love are manifest in each of her limbs. Her passionate love for Krishna is like a wave, which is manifest through the gestures of her eyes, her gait, and her words. It's a strong desire to meet him, but it's all for Krishna's pleasure. See, usually when we have a strong desire, I have to check, what is my motivation? Why do I have this strong desire? What is the reason? But Srimati Radhika has only one purpose, only one, and that's her beloved Mohan. Everything she does, everything she thinks, everything she says, it's for his pleasure. Anxiously she asked Rupa Manjari, how long will it take before I can see him again? Tell me, Rupa, how far is it still? Ah, how eagerly he must be sitting there waiting for me. She is in the separation feeling, right? She feels, when will we meet again? I haven't seen him for ages, although it was just this morning when she was cooking at Gandandaga. But she feels it was like in another lifetime or so, a millennium of ages. That's her feeling. So that's her intensity of separation. Completely out of this world. And there is a delight in separation, although it brings suffering. I remember our Guru Chandra, he was having a CD, it called Happy Sad, Happily Sad. He's singing in this mood, right? The melancholy is somehow also his main feeling when he's singing. He is melancholy. He's always in yearning, always feeling a lot of separation and longing. So Srimati Radhika also is in this feeling, but multiply it 1,000,000 times. And Baba says to us, there is a delight in separation, although it brings suffering. And such delight cannot be found in this world. And that's why sometimes it's difficult for us to comprehend how separation feelings can bring so much Prema, divine love, to grow. And Baba says, unless there is eagerness born from a feeling of want, one cannot become qualified to experience anything. So we need to experience eagerness that comes from a desire in the heart that I want to be a devotee, first of all. I want to become somebody who serves divine love with all their heart, with all their mind, with all their feelings and desires. As much as possible, I want to grow in this. And then I want to have a guru. I need a teacher in this who can help me. And then how can I serve this teacher? And what is our relationship like? What is the meaning of a spiritual relationship? Like Rupa Manjari and Raghunathas or Tulasi Manjari. How is it developed? How does it feel to have a spiritual relationship? I only know material relationships. And they have given me so much frustration. I am afraid. How can I trust a spiritual relationship that I never know how to be, how to relate? But unless there are feelings of separation awakening, there can be no awakening of a strong desire to attain the beloved. Therefore, the first target of the aspirant must be love in separation. So, although for us, usually when we experience separation on a mundane level, on a level that is covered by illusion, is painful, in the spiritual world, the same feelings of separation, they will have such a strong impact on the heart and the soul that they will catapult us. They will kind of shift us into Swarupa Vesh and shift us into our spiritual experiences and services. I have read this I have heard this from Srila Narottam Das Thakur. He says it's like he gives this drastic example. It's like when you have a train, in former times, the trains were not on electricity or motors. They were pressed into movement by coal. They would throw some coal into a big oven, and then this coal would burn, and then the steam of that oven, the steam and the pressure of that oven would make the movement of the wheels, and that's why it started slowly. It started slowly, and a lot of smoke was coming out. And so this was the example of Baba in that commentary of Narottam Das Thakur's prayers. He said that in Bhakti also we need the steam of the feelings, that why Gurudev always says to develop intense feelings or condensed. Because if you put the coal into the fire, into the oven, it cannot just make the wheels go with a little bit of heat. Right? It must be a lot of heat that will produce the steam, and then from that kind of intensity, it's compared to fire and the steam producing of a train that will go by steam or by coal. But actually, it is supposed to inspire or to compare something which is incomparable, the intense fire of separation that will make the heart melt with different tastes, the ruchi. And then from this intense fire, something will move in the heart. And at one point, that will shift the living entity into the spiritual Swarup. Avesh is one thing, but also go into that Swarup, live in that Swarup, and feel and speak in the Swarup, like Raghunath Das Goswami is showing us the way. So Baba is giving this example that this service is actually coming to a very high level of separation feelings. We're doing service. We're trying to do this, what Gurudev says. We're trying to do our sadhana. But often, yes, we are doing it, or I am doing it in a kind of like a routine. Now I chant my mantras. Now I get up. I take a shower. Now I read. Now I chant. But at one point of our development, there will be intense feelings connected to it. And these feelings will help us or me into our spiritual existence. It is like a separation that is unbearable, like crying, begging, and praying for a lot of mercy so that service can be done in the spiritual realm. I have not really actually any experience on that, but I believe in it and I want to follow it. That is my level that I am right now. But I have read so many things about it. I have heard from Gurudev, and I can feel the intensity of his feelings. And I can feel how he is crying for Srimati Radhika in some moments when he will reveal it. And that intensity I want to develop in my life also. Maybe somebody would like to share on this, because I have no much realizations on that, but I think the subject is very important. And Baba says that this love in separation, or this delight in separation, should be born from an eagerness. And that is an eagerness probably that needs to be increased all the time, so that the steam can make the movement of the heart, or a new dimension can open in our bhajan, in our practice, in our sadhana, in our chanting, in our singing, in our praying. Anybody would like to share on this? I mean, I've been now just going on. Please help me, Jayananda Prabhuji, Maharajji. He is also so absorbed.
Didi so beautifully described everything, and I just listening. Um, what can I say? Actually, this Rupa Manjari and this Torasi Manjari relationship is very, very deep. I feel this relationship one leader Rupa Manjari was massaging Srimati Radhika. And then she find out Tulasi Manjari is just coming. And then Rupa Manjari just said to Tulasi, you can massage Swamini. And then Rupa Manjari start massaging Mohan, Krishna. So they are each other is helping, and each other, like Rupa Manjari is always thinking a benefit of Swamini and how to please Swamini, how to make Swamini and Mohan to meet together. And also, Guru Manjari also sometimes thinking how to help my friend Tulasi. How Tulasi could help to serve Radharani or Radha's Mohan. If Radha and Mohan there, and then maybe we would like to massage our Swamini. But if his disciple coming, or his friend is coming, just Rupa Manjari was saying, please massage our Swamini. I massage. Without saying, he massage Radhika's Mohan. And we could see Virupaksha Manjari, first verse, or maybe not the first verse. Yeah, first verse. And Rupa Manjari is lips is cut. And then is very, how to say, expertly joking to Rupa Manjari. And it seems ordinary joke. But actually, this is glorifying Rupa Manjari. Here, I remember just, my dear friend Rupa Manjari, in the township of Braja, you are well known for your chastity. You don't even look at the faces of other men. It is therefore surprising that your lips, that was beautiful as red bimba fruit, have been bitten. Although your husband is not at home, how this may be being done by the best of parents. This also describes the relationship and Rupa Manjari and Tulasi Manjari. And Tulasi Manjari is always appreciating Rupa Manjari because Rupa Manjari is always serving Radhika, always one-pointed. And they're one in the heart. Rupa Manjari could feel what Radhika is thinking, what Radhika is feeling. So, Tulasi Manjari always respect and appreciate Rupa Manjari. And but this verse we could understand what the relationship and disciple and Guru Manjari. And Guru Manjari and disciple is also friend, very, very intimate friendship. But Guru Manjari always taking care of Shishya, Tulasi Manjari. And Tulasi Manjari always also helping her Guru Manjari. So here also we could understand this verse, also understand Rupa Manjaris and Tulasi Manjari. And in this spiritual world, no enviness and always like caring and loving each Manjaris. Manjari is always caring Radhika and Radhika's Mohan. Also, sometimes Guru Manjari always taking care of her Shishya Manjari or younger Manjari. So I don't know what I'm talking, but Suniti's explanation is so sweet. Just I remember the relationship with Rupa Manjari and Tulasi Manjari. We also same. Our Guru Manjari is very, very kind to us, our younger Manjari. And our Guru Manjari also sharing many things. And usually sadhu does not share very deep realization. Because Suniti also say, there is a kind of steam, power of steam, we can go ahead. But if we share, this power of steam may decrease. But the Guru Manjari does not care how to take care of her little younger, maybe one day younger Manjari. So I don't know what I'm talking, but I'm appreciating this Raghunatha Das Tulasi Manjari and also Rupa Goswami's Rupa Manjari. This relationship, spiritual, very deep and friendship. And this friendship is always, Gurudev also say, love and care. So what we need, what we are learning, also how to love and care. So Suniti's explanation so nice. Please go ahead. Sorry, I don't know. I don't have much realization. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping and adding your feelings, because the feelings are the treasure of our hearts and souls. And to develop the deep relationship to our Guru Manjari, to our Gurudev, we need to hear from other disciples who have a very close and deep relationship already. And then we know that Shri Gurudev will call me in my deepest hours of longing or despair. She will be there, like Rupa Manjari is there for Tulsi Manjari. Remember, he is on the Radha Kund. He wants to serve. She wants to be in her Swarup. She's crying. Or he. And then who comes? Guru Manjari comes. So we see the importance of this relationship. It's not any ritual. It's not any duty. The bondage is by love and affection. And this love and affection, it's carrying us higher and higher and higher and higher to the spiritual feelings. So Baba says, therefore, the first target of the devotee must be love in separation. Some feeling of, I have no steam, I have no pressure in my heart. And then Baba goes on and he says, the devotee should not forget this when becoming absorbed in the bliss of meditation. So that's very deep. He's telling us, don't become absorbed like a bliss hunter. Meditation is good for going deep and for being relaxed, but that is not our goal. Our goal is to become intensely trained and intensely desperate for spiritual service. And Baba says, a person like me feels no spiritual want or desires at all. I am having fun. My belly is full. Everything is okay. This can happen, right? When I'm very good and my spiritual life feels good, my material life feels good. I feel so good. I'm fully spiritually realized now. But no, Baba says, not like that. The aspirant will feel ashamed when he realizes the difference between his careless way of life and the activities of the Goswamis. So why is Baba saying this? So we don't become complacent. selbstgefällig. That is one of the enemies of a devotee's life, to think, I got it, I made it, it's all mercy now. From here on, I can always live like this. No, we can be thankful when there is some struggle, when there is some hindrances, and when there is some longing. We can be happy. Because I was just talking to my brother who is following the Christian path. And he also came to the realization there is suffering that we have in our lives. Any kind of suffering is there to develop more love. So we try to also embrace the tests and the challenges and not become lazy in our endeavors. Always become longing. Therefore, to always, be inspired by the lives of the Goswamis. They had nothing. They didn't have a big house. They didn't have a big hut. Even to have a hut, it was already a headache. Now you have to look for all the materials for the hut. But, Sanatana Goswami said, I should have a hut. So Raghunath Das was building himself a hut. He was happily burning in the sun. He was extraordinary. I cannot compare like that, but I want to always have a little bit of headache also, a little bit something that I can keep my yearning. When will the day be mine? When can the steam or the pressure of bhakti, move something in my stone-like heart? Sriman Mahaprabhu stood behind the Garuda pillar and viewed Lord Jagannath from there, bathing in his own tears. Shri Gaura Sundara or Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Dya, enriched by Radha's mood. Seeing himself meeting Krishna at Kurukshetra as a beggar woman. So now Baba is explaining to us the feelings of Mahaprabhu in front of Lord Jagannath. It's very interesting. He was not Gauranga. He was Radhika at that moment. And she thought, oh my God, this Lord of mine is so far away. He is a prince. She was in Kurukshetra. This is a place where they went for having a war. And Mahaprabhu saw Krishna so far away and not in the mood of Vrindavan anymore, but being a warrior. So Mahaprabhu felt intense feelings of separation and crying. Where is my Vrindavan Krishna? And although Krishna is her all in all, Swamini could not embrace him and hold him to her heart. What pain! What an anguish! And boundless bliss agitates the ocean of anguish as she thinks to herself, go to Raj. I want to see you in Braj. These are the feelings when Gauranga is feeling Radhika's feelings, who wants to bring Kurukshetra Krishna Dwarakadish to Vrindavan mood. And that's why they celebrate the Ratha Yatra festival every year. And that's why Mahaprabhu was dancing and pulling the cart. It was Radharani's feeling of separation. Come with me to Vrindavan. And Raghunath Das is the embodiment of Sriman Mahaprabhu's grace. His love and separation is natural. The devotees will greatly benefit by hearing and chanting about the stream of his worship. So that's interesting. See, we cannot imitate the feelings of separation of a pure Vaishnava like Raghunath Das or Rupa Goswami. It's not that, oh my God, I will never be like that, and that's why I might as well give up. No. But we are benefiting by hearing and chanting about their stream of their worship, by the flow of their feelings. Some dust of this will also come on my heart. Hearing about it, reading it, and listening from Gurudev, something will move my dry heart too. Maybe one day I can feel how Swamini is feeling when she is in separation of Mohan, and then I can serve her. Now we come back to the verse. The name Ayatakshi, or white-eyed girl, used for Radhika in this verse is very appropriate. Wide eyes can see far, and Sri Radhika needs that capacity to save her own life by seeing how far it is still before they come to Krishna. This is a commentary by Bangi Bihari Vidyalankara. Together with Tulasi and Rupa Manjari, or Rupa Swamini arrives at the gate of the Kunj. Now they come together. Finally, they come together. Hari Vibhushita Keli Kunj. It's the Kunj that has been decorated by Mohan by his own hands. Shri Hari had decorated that meeting place where Rupa and Tulasi bring Swamini and is waiting for her. Radhika is known as Vasaka Sajika, a girl who decorates the trysting place or meeting place and waiting for a hero, but now the situation is reversed. Now the hero is waiting for his beloved. How does that Kunj look like? This Kunj is adorned by Mohan's form, qualities, and craftsmanship. Hari made a sitting place for Srimati Radhika with flowers which are moistened by his own loving tears. How expert he is in decorating. It is as if he decorates all four sides of the kunja with his pure love for his Priyaji, thinking, here I will sit, my beloved, here I will let her sit. Or maybe here, or maybe on that side, or maybe here. All these feelings are now in that kunj. Srimati Radhika can feel all of it, his eagerness, his decorating with all of his intention of one-pointedness. This is the expertise of Prema Seva, the mutual service of love. When Swamini enters the kunj with Rupa and Tulasi, she is amazed. First of all, it is the kunj which delights Cupid. Madana Sukara Kunj. And then it is also decorated by the very hands of the transcendental youthful Cupid of Vrindavan. So we can imagine the intensity of the vibration of that kunj. Swamini asks, Shyam, who decorated this kunj? Mohan says, who knows? You understand. Srimati says, you have done it. Nobody else can decorate like this. You have done all this work, knowing that I would come. I should have been here with you. To help you. Today she is very munificent, means very generous, very sweet, and no vamyabhav today. She is completely melting by seeing Mohan's service, kunja service. She is so generous and loving and sweet. It is Swamini's Hari who steals Harana, her heart, with this loving expertise. Two teardrops trickle from Radhika's eyes. How affectionately Shyam or Mohan helps her unto the sitting place. How much love he has in his heart as he sits her and then sits at her soft feet, sitting himself on the pedestal. So he sits down to her feet like a Manjari and takes her feet to his chest asking her, "How have you come all the way here with these tender feet? The ground of Braja is so hard." He repeatedly looks at Swamini's lotus feet that are grey by dust, full of sand of Vrindavan, and grey. Her beautiful golden lotus feet have become grey because, remember, so that she would not be seen, the whirlwind was all around her also. He repeatedly looks at Swamini's lotus feet that are grayed by dust. Tulasi understands the mood and brings a golden pitcher with water and a golden bowl. While Tulasi pours out the water, Shyam washes Swamini's feet and dries them off with his yellow dhoti, while tears trickle from his eyes. Cryingly, he's wiping Swamini's feet with his own beautiful dhoti cloth. Without the mercy of the acharyas, this cannot be experienced. By their grace, the divine remembrance of this pastime will awaken in the heart. By their grace, the divine remembrance of this pastime will awaken within the heart. The mind must be absorbed in this subject. So we see here these three kinds of grace actually. First of all, being able to listen like we are listening to it now. We are all listening together. And all of our hearts somehow are connecting in this listening. And this also creates some steam or some power of eagerness, which combines to more eagerness. And then the grace that Raghunath Das Goswami has given to us by writing down his meditation, his vision, his feelings. And the grace of my Gurudev, who has given that grace of him into my heart by telling me, read and study and repeat and repeat and repeat. There's nothing more important and higher than this Vilapkash Manjari or this Radha Rasa Nidhi. This is also grace. So many mercies have been or are in our lives that we are sitting here together on a Sunday midday where we could do many, many other things, right? We want that our mind will become absorbed. This is our hope. And then the mercy of Baba. Baba's meditations are this. Because the verse is maybe 2 or 3 sentences. And Baba is meditating on this verse. He has written it down and his disciples have translated it from Bengali into English. So we feel the mercy of all the events that have guided us to sit here together to be able to listen this. And no matter what I am qualified or not, but I have a mercy in hearing it and repeating it and listening to see which mercy is already there, to feel that which is already there.
So, Suniti Didi, you are so beautiful.
Daddy,
So beautiful. Can I little bit add?
please, please, please.
This just before it is mentioned, Raghunatha Das is the embodiment of Sriman Mahaprabhu's grace. His love in separation is natural. The devotees will greatly benefit by hearing chanting about the stream of his worship. So, in this connection, actually, Raghunatha Das was witness in Gambhira Lila, in Jagannath Puri. So Mahaprabhu exhibit loving separation, like Radhika's feeling separate from Mohan. So he become completely crazy. Sometimes he could not sleep. Sometimes hitting the head. Sometimes screaming. Sometimes disappear from Gambhir. So many, and sometimes Raghunatha saw his body was like turtle. His anger, like leg and hand, was enter in the body. Or sometimes slacken his joint. So completely Raghunath Das was amazed, feel his love in separation. And then this is his seeing and hearing his like Gurudev, Swarpa Damodara Goswami. Swarpa Damodara Goswami teaching what's the meant of this Mahaprabhu's Leela. And also Mahaprabhu also his Guru, and also Ishtadev and also Guru Dev. So this loving separation feeling, infusing, just seeing, hearing from Guru and Rashka Vaishnavas. And also due to association and Rupa and Sanatana in Braja, or another Rashka Vaishnava. So in these things, you mentioned these three kinds of grace. You mentioned listening and from Gurudev, etc. So this is very connecting. Why Raghunath Das exhibit this so much loving in separation mood? Because of this mercy of Mahaprabhu and also mercy of his Gurudev. We may say Mahaprabhu, Swarpa Damodara, and Rupa Sanatana, etc. So this is very beautifully you explained the mercy and how the important this hearing, chanting about the stream of his worship, hearing, chanting his mood, and also Baba's mood, Baba's excellent explanations, and also Ananda Gopal Goswami's wonderful explanation. Also, by hearing this Vilapaksha Manjari, this feeling infusing in the heart, just love in separation. Even though I'm so immature and nothing, but slowly by listening, hearing and chanting, and one day we may get same feeling. And you explain so nicely. I just to add, Radhe.
Beautiful. Yes, actually, you're right. The mercy is so unlimited, and so many mercies have been there already. How the mercy came from Mahaprabhu to Raghunath Das, and who is carrying in his heart. It's like an ongoing stream of mercy that we are connected to. And the more I become conscious of this, I never feel alone, right? I always feel that I am really full of mercy when I can just hear it, when I can just, feel the sound vibration of all the mercy particles that Swamini has sent to us in all different forms, in Shri Guru and different forms of Guru, all her Manjaris. Actually, she is sending all of her Manjaris, not only sending, but coming with all of her Manjaris to make her beloved happy, because he wanted to feel her feelings. They have come together in Gauranga, and also to invite all living entities, to invite them to come to that kind of pure love and pure being and pure Vrindavan mood. So always becoming more conscious and more grateful for this, more thankful. It will help my consciousness to believe in strong ways to do this again and again and open my heart for this vibration. And it never becomes boring, because also remembering them like Raghunath Das Goswami and Mahaprabhu and Gambhira, and hearing about it, it will connect, and the puzzle of that whole big picture, how Bhakti is coming to this world, to this earth planet at this time, it will make our hearts tremble. Like Mohan's heart is trembling now when he can finally invite Swamini into his kunj, on his bed or his couch, and he wants now to serve her lotus feet like a Manjari. And Srimati Radhika is melting.
Yeah, and this leader, subject become object. Subject.
Yes, exactly.
Vishaya becomes Ashraya become Vishaya.
Yes, he's already preparing for next Gauranga ascension.
Yeah.
Descension, I mean.
This is amazing leader.
It is very, very sweet. And we know Gurudev has this picture also of Krishna, where he has Srimati Radhika's lotus feet to his cheek or to his chest and crying. That is the feeling when they become one for Gauranga. For Gauranga to come and share these feelings. When Srimati Radhika's love is the master and Mohan becomes the servant of her. How beautiful Mohan is sitting by Swamini's feet. Swamini lifts Krishna up and seats him next to her. He's sitting down, remember? He's sitting down to her lotus feet. Now she lifts him up and gives him a seat next to her. And how beautiful he looks with these loving tears in his eyes. He is doing everything full of emotion. Holding her cheek on his cheek, Swamini asks Shyam, "Why do you love me so much? I could not do anything for you. I have so many shortcomings. How many qualified girls are there not always waiting for you? They are waiting in millions. You have too many. They love you more than me. Swamini also is getting into this very humble mood of, I have nothing to give to you. How could you leave them all for an unfortunate girl like me? Shyam stares at Swamini's face. He cannot keep his eyes out of her eyes. What he has gotten, he is unaware of. Their bodies are studded with big goosebumps and many sweat drops, and they stare at each other while tears flow from their eyes without interruption. Their limbs are filled with joy from each other's touch. Who can experience the waves of love? This one devotee has written like a song, Radha Mohan Das. They embrace each other and stare at each other, while Swamini holds her head on Shyam's left shoulder and keeps her right arm behind his back. Their mouths are adorned with soft and tender smiles, and that seem to never end. These smiles, they are just like never-ending smiles. Rupa and Tulasi stare without blinking at the sweetness of the Yugala Kishore that looked like the moon, Radha, and the blue Kuvalaya lotus, Krishna, together. They resemble a golden vine embracing a tamala tree, or the lightning entering a fresh rain cloud. There is no comparison to Radha and Krishna's forms. They resemble a blue lotus flower and the moon in one place. They are both absorbed in Rasika ecstasy, and Ananta Das cannot find the limits to this. Ananta Das is Ananta Das Babaji Maharaj, right? But also very interesting, our Gurudev's name is also Ananta. And Ananta is the name for endless, without limitation. Suddenly the vision vanishes. It is as if the eyes have become void, empty. And Sri Raghunath Das is weeping, crying, and praying as follows. O Rupa Manjari Devi, you are always immersed in the nectar ocean of devotional service, always pleasing Shri Shri Radha Mohan. In a loving mood, Kunjeshwari Radha places her vine-like arm in your hand. Your incomparable golden youthful form astonishes Hari's heart. When you see him before you, with your passionate reddish eyes, you are floating on waves of love with your body, your mind, and all your senses. Oh, my Ishwari, Shri Radhe, you are wearing all the ornaments of your pastimes, floating on the waves of rasa, of playful skirmishes, as I take you on Abhisar, on your love journey to the Kunja, which is decorated by Hari. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you all for coming and your eagerness and your loving ears and your loving presence. Sorry for rushing to the translators. Because these verses, they have 3 pages or more, and then I want to, somehow I have a feeling it's nice to read the whole thing, no? Because then some picture is painted. It's like a canvas. No, these verses, these commentaries or notes are like a canvas. And I know also sometimes when there's so much ecstasy, we can stuck only in the verse. But sometimes I feel it's also an ecstasy to read the whole verse together. It has also a nice quality and a nice picture and something that makes my heart very satisfied. I don't know. Every time it's different, right? Thank you all. Radhe Radhe. See you Zoom.